Morning has broken, and we are your consecrated hosts.
Jonathan, consecrated by baptism.
And Father Jeff, consecrated by holy orders. Another week, another diving deeper into Lent.
Yeah.
Jonathan, it is the 8th, 9th, 8th?
8th of March.
It's already the 8th. We're a third of the way through. A third of the way. We're not quite a third of the way of the year yet, but...
A third of the way.
There's a lot going on this week.
There is a lot.
I tell you.
I tell you.
I think, the confession schedule is going to start picking up now, and I really have found in the last couple weeks since Lent began, our numbers in Mass attendance have shot way up.
They have.
So I think it's a combination of Lent, warmer weather, vaccines getting out, or people having had COVID and really kind of riding the immunity wave for a bit. So I think that these are good signs that there is a resurrection.
Yes, I'm encouraged. It's good, and it's just good to see people at church.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think we peaked 2 weeks ago. We were very close this last weekend, but we were in that 850 round. So this is, I didn't look to see exactly what we were the other day or yesterday, but it is very close.
Might have even been better.
Well, I know there were people that were back for the first time. They already told me that it's like, this was our first weekend. We decided we were going to come back. So
that's so good.
It was good to see. So it's encouraging that we're still taking things very careful. But this is, it's a sign that maybe the tide is turning. The tide is turning.
It is turning.
And after one full year, it'll be a full year next week.
Yeah, the beginning of next week. Oh my gosh.
Since we quarantined and started this little program.
But look at what joy it's brought to everybody.
Okay, Joya.
If you're watching this, you can thank the pandemic.
So, see, little blessings that just peek out everywhere.
Yeah.
So, did you notice? Let's see. Yeah, you were at the were you? Yeah, I don't know. Again, it all blurs together. At the 9 o'clock Mass, which was live streamed. So those of you who were following on live stream, we did the first scrutiny of the elect.
Yeah.
And that was, it's one of those things that you probably have heard about, maybe you've seen at Masses before, but depending what Mass you go to, you may or may not have experienced it. The elect, those are your baptized people, or to be baptized people. So the elect are your RCIA catechumens who have not been baptized, who now have been called to be baptized this Easter. So we call them the elect. Right. You are chosen. We have elected you for baptism. So we have two young ladies to be baptized this Easter. And their first scrutiny, the scrutinies are really a way for the church to scrutinize. It's that we bring them before the community and we pray for them. And it is one of those experiences that it sounds much more dramatic than it is because we have exorcisms.
Oh, yeah. Well, in baptism, there's the exorcism at baptism.
I know, but you almost miss it. And but there it was like, we're going to pray this prayer, exorcism over these women, and we're going to drive out whatever is evil and push aside what doesn't belong there to create a space for God. And then we immediately pray a prayer of blessing. It's like, shove you away, evil man, and stick some God in there. Exactly.
Fill it in.
Exactly. So there's 3 scrutinies that lead up to baptism. The 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th weeks of Lent. And usually then we have a whole different set of scripture readings. So if you were following along and realized, hey, these aren't the readings that are, because we're in cycle B, Mark's cycle, but the scrutinies usually follow cycle A. So we had that great gospel of the woman at the well, who has this conversation with Jesus, and her heart is longing for something more, and he just leads her to truth and conversion.
Did you see that Chosen episode?
I did.
All
those Chosen episodes, I mean, every one of them, except maybe 2, brought a tear to my eye. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yeah, so the woman at the well, if you have a chance, It's one of the last episodes, if not the last episode.
I think it may be,
It might be the last.
final episode, or the penultimate. I don't remember.
But it really gives an insight into an encounter with Jesus in that raw and just, oof.
Yeah. It gives you that. And, one of the things that I had read recently about the woman of the well is that just to show you how much of an outcast she was, it says that she came to the well, it was later in the day, the heat of the day or whatever. Most women would have gone to the well early in the morning, either before the sun got up or when it was just rising, because you don't want to be trekking in the heat, getting your water. So it's like one of the first things you do. But because she was kind of an outcast in her community, she wasn't welcome.
Yeah.
She wasn't welcome to be there with the other ladies because of her lifestyle. And so she had to come, and just that total sense of rejection, and Christ saw her and said, I'll love you. Oh, if only we could do that, I'll love you.
Father Jeff, why can't you do that to me? I'm kidding. He wrote me a thank you card once.
Jonathan.
I still have it on my desk.
I did. And I meant it too.
But scrutinies. Woman at the well. Sorry.
Those scrutinies. So we've got 2 more coming up now. And again, different gospel passages. The next week's will be the man born blind. And he also desires to see the fullness of the truth. And he is healed of his blindness, and he's able to see. So that kind of fits in this journey of conversion.
There's a theme that's going on here.
You might notice it. And the third one is the raising of Lazarus from the dead. And so it's the hungering or the thirsting for the Lord, removing the blindness and seeing him, and then I am no longer dead, I am alive. So this is the journey of baptism. So we take these people who are preparing for baptism, and what a great reminder it is for all of us in the community to hear these prayers, to see this journey, and to really appreciate our own baptism all the more.
And so this last weekend it was at the 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Is it going
This coming weekend it will be at the 11 o'clock Mass, and the following weekend it will be at the Saturday 5 p.m. Vigil. So we try to move them around so most of the community will experience a scrutiny.
And that's the only Mass that we switch the readings?
Correct. All of the other readings will be the readings for the normal Sunday then, so the Year B readings.
So do you have to do 2 homilies?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense talking about the woman at the well. She hadn't been mentioned.
When you've got the cleansing of the temple going on, these are things that you don't.
Very cool.
So it's Lent is full steam ahead. Confession schedules are going to pick up, and that is a great way to refresh your baptism. So if you want to appreciate your baptism, confession is a way to do that. And stir up those waters again.
Molly put the Ministry Monthly. She put the scrutinies in.
Molly Gaston is our director of liturgical worship at the parish. And so, she wrote about the scrutinies in our last week's, not this past weekend, but last week's bulletin.
We should have a page like that on our website that has the Ministry Monthlies, because I don't think you can get them except they're the paper copy.
It goes out in the email, so if you get the flock note, you'll get it. But, we could do that. Put it on your to-do list, Jonathan. Okay. Today is the Feast of John of God. One of many Johns.
Is this a John that we know of? Like John the Apostle? No, it's like he had major...
He's not scriptural. Okay. I don't remember what era or what century he came from. I don't have that on the tip of my tongue. But I know he was... He's really the patron of nurses, the sick, and of hospitals.
Oh, okay.
So, what a great patron to invoke in these days of pandemic, and especially as many healthcare workers are finding themselves stretched to their limits and just wanting this to be over, invoke the intercession of John of God.
Excellent.
I saw, when I was doing the bulletin last week in preparation for this week, I noticed his symbol was a broken open pomegranate with a cross coming out of it. And I meant to look what that meant, and I didn't. So I'm just saying that, I'm throwing it out there, that if you want to go do some Catholic scavenger hunting, go figure out what John of God's broken open pomegranate and cross mean? Because I can't tell you. Yeah. It's interesting. Now I got to put that on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Find out what broken of a pomegranate means. Okay. Tomorrow, Francis of Rome.
Francis of Rome.
Not Assisi.
No, so this is with an ES.
ES, Lady Francis. Yeah.
And no relation.
No relation. People with first names typically aren't related to other just because. Yeah. Ironically, she is the patroness of automobile drivers. And she lived in not a time of automobiles. I don't know if she lived 1200s, 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. One of those.
That's not 1900s.
No. There were no cars. So why, again, I should have done my homework and looked this up. I don't know why she is the patroness of automobile drivers. But she is. So.
That's fun.
Yeah, so all of those 15 and 16-year-old kids that are getting their learner's permits and driver's license, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, people who are also on the road, invoke Francis of Rome to be a certain intercessor or protector for them.
You know what? Buy a prayer card of Francis of Rome, get it blessed by your priest, and then throw it in like the back of the driver's seat in that pocket. So it's not never to be seen, but it's
that
there.
Sounds like a talisman.
A talisman?
Yeah.
No.
It's not what a sacramental is. You give it to the person and say, I'm going to be praying for you. Why don't you pray for yourself or put this in your car so when you see it.
Okay, then don't put it there. So then put it in the visor.
Yeah.
So you can see it.
Put it there. Don't tape it to your windshield because that
Don't put it over the speedometer.
No,
I've seen people do things like that, which is like, come on.
They kind of build their little altar it's like their little Catholic altar right above the on that little ledge or whatever in front of all their dials. There's the little Sacred Heart and the Our Lady, and here's some holy water, and there's a scapular. And
the Holy Spirit will guide my speed.
I don't need to see where I'm going. I'm following God.
Or get a tiny saint to put on their keychain. I don't know if they have a Francis of Rome tiny saint, but
I don't know. Tiny Saints. That's like a brand.
Yeah, so that's a little. I'll post a little picture.
Little tiny saints.
They're cute.
They are kind of cute. I don't have any.
I have several,
but I don't like lots of things on my keychain.
I cleared them out and I put them
you
on
have them hanging on your bulletin board. I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little string of saints up there.
They all mean something.
It's like a little laundry line of saints hanging out to dry.
When you put it that way, Father John.
Oh, so those are our two saints this week, and then, like I said, again, Lent, kind of a non-saintly
Laetare Sunday.
Oh, that's coming up. But before that, Saturday, we've got the 8th anniversary of the election of Pope. The election of Pope Francis as Supreme Pontiff. So I can't believe that, because I think he was 2013, so this would make it 8. So I think he has now surpassed Benedict's papacy in terms of the length of that papacy.
Wow.
So, we lost a whole year where basically he didn't do a whole heck of a lot, shuttered up. I think, that this week he will be, it was this last weekend. I'm not watching the news anymore, so I don't know what's going on.
He was in
Iraq. Mm-hmm. He was heading there to make his visit. So hopefully that all went well because I didn't pay attention to the news.
And I try not to watch anything. Politics, religion.
I know. Especially when it's portrayed on the news, but...
Lead me, Lord. That's what I want.
Lead me, Lord. Lead me, Lord.
And our show gets canceled.
All right, then Laetare.
Laetare.
You like that?
Well, I get to wear pink.
You'll see Jonathan
Rose.
in his rose-colored shirt again. His 3 days a year shirt.
2. Unless there's a special occasion.
The birthday of your daughter.
Not her birthday. If it falls on a Sunday, maybe. We'll see.
You've said that that's your Laetare, your Gaudete, and your Gemma.
Well, I wore it for her baptism.
Okay. See, there's lots of things that you can wear it for. Easter, maybe?
No, I'll wear my, a light green. Now I have the lavender colored shirt. But that's too linty.
All these pastels.
So, yeah, so I have a blue, light blue and a light green.
Mint green?
Mint green.
How fresh.
Or a yellow even.
You could probably pull off yellow. I don't know. I can't really pull off yellow.
That's because you're...
I have no... Yeah, I used to have a yellow shirt. I can only wear it if I wear a sweater on top of it, where this is all you see of yellow. Because it washes me
You need
out.
to be more tan.
Long sleeves, high collars. Not seeing any sun anytime soon. But what is laetare? It's another Latin word for rejoice, as gaudete was the Latin word for rejoice back in Lent, and it's this Advent. So gaudete is Advent, laetare is Lent, and both of them have similar meanings. They both basically are, we are halfway through the season. So we've done 3 full weeks of Lent. Mm-hmm. Now we have laetare, and we've got 3 full weeks ahead of us.
Until Easter.
But it does seem to go more quickly after laetare, because each Sunday now is going to be different. Mm-hmm. So laetare Sunday happens, and then the next Sunday when you come to church, we enter into Passion Tide, which means all of the crosses and statues and everything is covered and disappears, so it's beginning to feel really desolate. And then the following Sunday is Palm Sunday of the Lord's Passion, and then the following Sunday is Easter. So it's just like every Sunday is a different thing, so it really does keep things kind of interesting.
Yeah,
It
you
moves
feel
along.
like you've hit the home stretch.
Yeah, once you hit laetare, boom, it's going to be Easter. And that's why I think we have this little moment of rejoicing. Mm-hmm. So you might hear some instrumental music again. You'll see the color rose being worn. There may be flowers decorating the altar. So there's just a little burst of pre-Easter anticipation.
Yeah.
Little pre-Easter anticipation. Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that covers it. This is going to be a short episode. We've kind of talked about all we have to talk about. And we've got things on our to-do list now.
Because Father Jeff adds something every 20 minutes.
What was on your to-do list?
Oh,
You just wrote it.
No,
It's
I
written
had-
right there.
Put the ministry monthly.
I totally forgot.
On the
I'm glad you
website.
remembered. And I'm going to look up John of God's pomegranate.
And why automobiles.
And why automobiles. Francis of Rome. Automobile. That's how she would have said it. Automobile.
No, it's not how she would have said it, because she didn't know what an automobile is. Bile is.
She would have said, I don't know what she would have said. I don't speak ancient. It wouldn't have been ancient, but early Italian. Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day and your week. Now, next week, Jonathan, we are going to take a slight break in the series. So let's call it our spring break moment. And so we're not going to have a show on Monday, the whatever day that is.
Correct.
We might have one that week. I don't know. We'll decide.
Yeah,
But
we
you may or
might
may
do
not
something.
find anything. If not, it's nothing's wrong with you. Everything's wrong with Jonathan. So have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.